What's up YouTube? My name is Jim and it's been a long time since I've released a new video. I've had quite a bit on my plate at Dollar Hobbies as we continue to grow and we are getting a lot of new parts and brands in. So today we're going to unbox the Rustler 4-wheel drive VXL brushless system. Now this is the 2018 Rustler. It's a complete redesign compared to the old Rustlers that we used to see. It comes in two different colors. There's a red and blue version as well as a green and blue version. Now the version we're unboxing today is the red and blue version. It comes with the top qualifier 2.4 gigahertz radio system by Traxxas. So we did get a lot of feedback from previous videos where you guys don't really want me to talk about the radio system or what's in the pamphlets anymore. Just know there is a warranty manual and parts guide in there in case you need it. You can also visit the website of different brands if you need more information on the vehicle. Just note that it is included with every single vehicle that you purchase. So the biggest change here with the body is the quick release system. It is the same system that is in the X-Max and the eRevo 2.0 that was just released. This is a phenomenal system that the Rustler finally gets it. It also has a guard on top which will protect the body from rollovers and scratching. It also helps with the auto rightening system that is now in the vehicle. So if the vehicle flips over, you can self-correct it so it flips back over and you can continue to drive. The other big thing is the design. So we have a plastic spoiler on the back. This honestly just kind of looks like a minier eRevo 2.0 version, but they did a phenomenal job with the paint scheme. I like this a lot better than any other paint scheme they've come up with. This is phenomenal. I do prefer the green over the red, but that is just a personal choice. Now in the front, we do have a bumper and kind of a skid plate that goes into the chassis. On the old Rustlers, if you've ever seen one, there's just kind of a tongue that sticks out. There's not really a bumper that is included. Now the biggest difference here that we're going to see is kind of how the suspension is set up. So the suspension is at a 90 degree, and I'll talk more about this in the later section of the video. We have a drive shaft, as you guys can see, because now it's a four-wheel drive vehicle. Heavy-duty plastic carriers. We do have a different shock tower because now we're using the new quick-release system. We also do have very nice A-arms, and we do have an aluminum bracket in the front, what is holding the A-arms together to the actual chassis. It kind of gives it a little bit more strength and durability. Now the drive shafts, they are plastic, but they seem to be very good, at least from me messing around with it for a little bit. We do have a steering servo. It's a bell crank steering servo. We're now using actual heavy-duty black grade plastic rather than just that white clear stuff that we used to use. And then we're using the 2075 steering servo by Traxxas, so it's weather sealed. Everything should be good to go through the water. And then we do have a new molding for the actual wheels. We do have a black aluminum wheel on here, which is very nice. It has that nice chrome finish, or black chrome finish. I shouldn't say aluminum because it is plastic. And then we have a new tire tread, foam inserts. The wheels are glued down to the tires, and the tires are uniform for the first time on these vehicles because it's a four-wheel drive vehicle. The tire tread in the front is just as important as the tire tread in the back of the vehicle, so we can actually pull. On the old vehicles, since they were mostly two-wheel drive vehicles, you would have like a spoke tire in the back and a rib tire in the front. We finally have some uniformability, I think that's a word, into this vehicle, which I really like. Now the biggest thing about this redesign is honestly the chassis. This is kind of determining where parts are getting placed. It is heavy duty. I've never seen a chassis this thick, this beefy before, other than what is in the X-Max and the eRevo 2.0. So Traxxas knows that their vehicles are being bashed and they've upped their game. Now on the left hand side of the vehicle, they redid the battery tray. They have this quick release battery system. I like it. I approve of it. They also have foam inserts. Now, usually they would give you these in a bag, but they've already put these in the vehicle. And then they have this quick release system. They also have another clip that does come in the bag. I just want to let you guys know so you can put different battery in. Now, with the four-wheel drive, we have a aluminum drive shaft that goes all the way from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle, which also is a reason to move our battery off to the side rather than the center like it used to be. Taking a look at the other side of the vehicle, this is where we kind of reposition the parts, but the parts are pretty much the same as the old vehicle because we're using the Traxxas Millennium system, the same radio system. But the parts have kind of just moved where they are. So in the old system, the VXL used to be in the center. The ESC used to be in the center back chassis. And then the motor and transmission were in the total back of the actual vehicle because it was only two-wheel drive. Now we have the radio system, the ESC, and the motor with the transmission in the center of the back of the actual chassis. It's not off to the back of the chassis. There's an aluminum bracket that is housing the motor, keeping the motor tightly secure to the actual vehicle. VXL 3S, so this will take a 3S LiPo battery. That will get you the 65 plus miles an hour, as well as the pinion gear that they include inside the pamphlet of goodies. An aluminum drive shaft, as you can see, the Traxxas brushless motor, the Millennium system, and then we also do have our transmission, which is right there. It is plastic housed, and then it goes into our metal gear differential in the back of this vehicle, along with that aluminum bracket for the A-arms in the back. Now, the biggest difference that you're going to see in the back is that there's a wheelie bar already attached to the vehicle. You always had to go out and buy a third party or Traxxas's wheelie bar separate from the vehicle in the old ones. But that's just because the vehicle was so poorly designed compared to this one. Now, if we take a look at the bottom, this is like the big thing that you'll notice is first, it's Traxxas branded on both sides, which is great, and it's not like, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It looks good, but you'll notice it's more boxy. It's square. In the old vehicle, the chassis basically was a triangle, and it was very awkward, and it was hard to like work on the vehicle. It didn't just detach how this one does. You'll also notice how thick it is. And you can see the duckbill shape that it has in the front of the vehicle. So we actually are tucking things underneath the chassis in the front, such as the steering servo. And then everything else is on the side of the chassis. Now, I brought my crappy old school Rustler. It's got parts hanging off. It's missing parts. It's been modified. There's third-party parts. Ignore all that. The big thing I want you to see is just how narrow it is. It doesn't have a wide stance. It's up a little bit higher. The chassis is very thin. It's very rigid. Like you can feel all the rigidness, where on the new vehicle it's nice and smooth. The other interesting thing that I noticed right away is the suspension system on the front of the vehicle. The suspension system on the front of the vehicle in the old one is like on the front, it's almost at a 45-degree angle rather than being flush with the actual chassis and 90 degrees on the ground. You can see it from this shot totally right here. What I'm talking about is that the suspension system's built on where like the bumper should be and not where the chassis is. The other biggest thing is the Rustlers, the old ones, all the weight was in the back of the truck because somebody came up with the idea that the motor needed to be off of the chassis in the back of the vehicle because it was a two-wheel drive vehicle. That is no longer an issue. And the other thing is Traxxas also turned a 90-degree angle of the actual motor and transmission. So the best way I can describe this is the transmission on the new vehicle runs horizontally with the actual car, and the motor runs vertically with the vehicle from front to back. On the old style, the motor was running horizontally from tire to tire, and the transmission was running vertically from front and back. and it was off of the actual chassis, which doesn't make sense. That's what a chassis is for. So on the new vehicle, they made that 90-degree switch and they pushed it onto the actual chassis, so the back of the vehicle is no longer super heavy. So guys, thanks for watching this quick unboxing and overview of the Traxxas Rustler 4x4 VXL. You can find out more information about this vehicle at Traxxas's website, traxxas.com. If you'd like to purchase this vehicle, you can purchase it at dollarhobbies.com or in our local store if you're within the Twin Cities or metro area. As always, I hope you guys have a good one. Until next time, peace.